guys. So, let me just start off by telling you guys what happened with my last cycle, because I kind of put an annotation on there that I had a faint positive. I did have a faint positive, and I've had this happen before, but it never got any darker. And my period came like 3 days later. And I also went and did an HCG blood work at the hospital next to my work, and it came back as negative. So obviously I was not pregnant. Right after that, my cycle started on November 16th, and I started my Femara on day 3, like I'm supposed to, until day 8. And then on day 10, I went in to get an ultrasound done. And when they did my ultrasound, they said that the largest follicle they saw was like 10 millimeters, and they want 18. So they said they didn't think I had ovulated. And they also did blood work, and they said I hadn't ovulated. So I went ahead and they put me back on Femara again for another 3 days. And that time they wanted to do an ultrasound this past Monday. But I was actually starting a new fertility doctor just because he's closer to me. I started him on Tuesday, so I just told him I would just follow up with him on that since I didn't want to make the drive and everything. So on Tuesday, I saw the new doctor, and he did the ultrasound, and he looked at my follicles, and he said my largest one was only 13, and there was another one that was really close right behind it that looked really good at 11 or 12. And he says that he works really aggressively, he says. So he said we could wait or we could start Femara again. So I agreed that we could start Femara again, and he would do a higher dose. The only thing that he does differently, and I don't know why my other doctor doesn't do this, is that he does a pregnancy test beforehand, because he says that Femara is a Class X drug. So if I take it while I'm pregnant, then that'd be really bad for the fetus. So I went and I did a blood test, and they called me back like 2 hours later, and they said, oh, well, he did his job really well because you're pregnant already. I'm like, what? What? No, what? Like, that was the last thing I was expecting to hear, because I didn't even think I'd ovulated yet. So of course I didn't think I was going to be pregnant. I was just expecting them to call me and tell me what my new dose was. That was it. I was never in a million years expecting them to tell me that I was pregnant. So they were a little concerned, because while I was at the appointment, I did mention that I'd had some mid-cycle bleeding. And I think, well, what I originally thought was that it was because when I did my first ultrasound, the tech kept pressing on my uterus really hard because she couldn't see the ovaries very well. So I figured that she must have burst a cyst, because I started spotting that day. And it was pink and kind of reddish until about Thursday. And then Friday it started being like the brown stuff, the old stuff. And that kept going on until about Monday. Tuesday I think I saw like one wipe or something, and that was it. And then today it's been completely clear. So when I talked to them at the appointment, I only just said kind of offhand, I said, hey, I've had this mid-cycle bleeding. I don't know what it is. And that's weird, because I don't ever have that. So I think they took that as like I was having a flow or something, and I'm not. Like, it was spotting. Oh, excuse me. It was spotting. And like I said, it wasn't that like reddish stuff for very long. So, and maybe that's when the egg burst out and left some blood behind or something. Could have been implantation bleeding, but I doubt it. I'd be way too early. Because I think that I actually ovulated on the day I did my first ultrasound. I've been looking at my charts and I can't figure it out, because my temperatures are they kind of go like this for a while, because the Femara, every time I'm on the Femara, it kind of messes with my temperatures a bit. But then on day 10, it goes up for like 3 or 4 days, and then it drops like completely, and then it starts going back up again. So the only thing that makes sense to me is that day 10, and then I started getting my rise, for my temperature shift, and then it dropped at implantation possibly, and now it's rising up again, but it still hasn't, there's no temp shift yet still. I still don't even understand it. But I've been told once you get that positive, you know, that you just stop temping. But anyway, so right away they started putting me on progesterone to make sure that my lining's good. And I've already taken 2 of those. They gave me folic acid, on top of my prenatal that I already take, which has quite a bit of folic acid in it. And they also put me on baby aspirin. So I've been taking all that since yesterday. And then when I got home, I decided to do my own pregnancy test because I didn't decide. It was actually, I'm on a Trying to Conceive group on Facebook, and they really wanted to see some tests. So here is my F-rear. I almost could see it better without. Either way, I mean, I think you can see that if you really squint. Oh yeah. You can see the line. There's a line anyway. It's just my webcam on my computer. It's not the best camera. So I did that one. And then I also have digitals. And I figured for the hell of it that I would take one. But I've been told that, like, most of them, they hadn't seen one. They wouldn't see a positive on it until, like, 4 or 5 weeks. But there it is. It says pregnant. And I am, if I count for my first day of my cycle, which is when the doctors do, which is stupid, I am only 2.5 weeks pregnant. If I count from ovulation, I'm like 4 days pregnant. I'm not very far along. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like still dumbfounded. I was never expecting this. And I'm really happy about it too, because this month was the last month that I could get pregnant and have a baby before my 30th birthday. And I also really wanted to have one before, get my BFP before Christmas, so I could tell my parents on Christmas. It's just been a great month. But if everything goes well, the baby will be due August 23rd. And my 30th birthday is August 19th. So there's a good chance the baby will be born either on my birthday or before it. Or it might be late. But either way, I mean, that's still great. I'm so happy about it. What else? Tomorrow I'm doing another blood test to make sure the HCG is doubled, which I'm feeling it probably has, because I've been told that these only read at like 50. And so I was 38.5 when they did my blood. I did this a few hours later, so it might have already jumped to 50 by the time I had taken this. So, doing that Thursday and then Saturday. And I mean, otherwise, I don't really have any symptoms, obviously. I'm not that far in. The only thing I notice now, in retrospect, things that I didn't really think much about a couple days ago, I have been getting up to pee a lot in the night, a lot more than usual. I usually only get up like once, and that's when my alarm goes off to take my temperature. And I've gone like 3 or 4 times. And then the other symptom today is like I got the tightness down here. Just a little bit of tightness, but nothing else crazy. And then yesterday I just had a terrible backache for like no reason. I've never gotten backaches. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I slept weird or if it's the hormones or what, but I had backache. That's the only other symptoms I've had. But yeah, I think now we're going to start shifting into pregnancy vlogs. So I think what I'll do is, I have my blood test tomorrow and I have my blood test Saturday. I will let you guys know how that goes. I'm hoping it goes well. Obviously, I would like to keep this pregnancy. I've been trying for so long. I would like to absolutely keep it. So I will go ahead and make a video on Monday and let you guys know how everything's going. And we will start our pregnancy vlogs from there. Okay? Bye.